In Japan, a husband might spend 30 years making his wife the same breakfast every single morning. He'll wake up at 5. He'll slice the fish perfectly. He'll pack it in a bento with a small handwritten note. But he will never once look her in the eye and say the words, "I love you." Not because he doesn't feel them, but because in Japan, love doesn't need to be spoken to be understood. Welcome to Trace of Us. Every culture has its own way of loving, living, and seeing the world. Today we're in Japan, a country where silence can say more than words ever could. If you've ever wondered why Japanese couples seem so distant in public, or why the phrase "I love you" almost never crosses their lips, stay with me, because what you're about to discover isn't coldness. It's something far deeper. Let's start with the language itself. In English, "I love you" stretches across a wide range of situations. You say it to your partner, your mother, your dog, and sometimes, after a really good meal, to the chef. It's casual. It's frequent. It rolls off the tongue. In Japanese, the equivalent phrase, Aishiteru, carries a completely different weight. Aishiteru is not something you say over breakfast. It's not something you text before bed. It's almost never used in daily life. One Japanese woman described her reaction when a foreign friend said it to her casually. She blinked like he had just proposed marriage. "That's really deep," she told him. The reason is simple. In Japanese, Aishiteru is reserved for the most profound, almost life or death moments. Think deathbed confessions in cinematic climaxes in drama series. It's an emergency valve for emotions so enormous that ordinary language can no longer contain them. Using it casually would be like lighting a firework indoors. Too much, too sudden, and honestly, a little dangerous. So what do Japanese people actually say? The more common expressions are "tsukida," which literally means "I like you," or "daizuki," meaning "I really like you." These are the phrases used in confessions in the quiet moments between partners in the early days of dating. They carry warmth, but they're carefully measured. You don't throw them around. And then there's the most poetic version of all. The novelist Natsume Soseki, or at least according to a beloved urban legend, once suggested that the correct Japanese translation of "I love you" was not Aishiteru at all. It was, "The moon is beautiful tonight, isn't it?" Whether Soseki actually said this is debated. But the idea stuck because it captures something true about Japanese expression. Love is always indirect. It hides inside metaphors, inside glances, inside the spaces between words. Now here's where it gets interesting, because in Japan, silence isn't empty. It's full. Japan has historically been called Kotoreje Kuni, a nation where people refrain from speaking. This isn't a stereotype. It's a cultural reality shaped by centuries of Zen Buddhism, Confucian hierarchy, and close-knit village life, where everyone already knew everyone's business. The Zen Buddhist motto is, "Do not rely on words, communicate tacitly." The Japanese tea ceremony, born from this philosophy, is built entirely on shared silence. You sit together, you watch the water boil, you feel the warmth of the cup. No conversation required. The emotion is in the atmosphere. Confucianism added another layer. For centuries, Japanese children were taught that it was shameful to be eloquent. Speaking too much, especially in front of elders, was seen as disrespectful. The highest form of communication wasn't speaking. It was listening. And the highest form of listening wasn't just hearing words. It was reading the silence between them. This created a communication style that psychologists call high context. In high context cultures, meaning isn't in the words. It's in the situation, the tone, the pause, the slight tilt of a head, the way someone places a cup of tea in front of you without being asked. In Japanese relationships, this means love is communicated through what isn't said. A partner who remembers your coffee order. Someone who warms up the bath before you get home. A mother who packs extra rice in your lunchbox when she knows you've had a hard week. These aren't random acts of kindness. They're love letters written in action. One concept that captures this beautifully is omoiyari, a word that doesn't translate cleanly into English. It means something like altruistic sensitivity, the ability to intuitively understand what another person feels and to act on it without being told. In Japanese culture, Omoiyari is considered one of the highest virtues in a relationship. Not grand declarations, not dramatic gestures, but the quiet, consistent ability to feel what your partner feels and to respond without words. So why does this system work? Why don't Japanese couples feel unloved without hearing the words? Part of the answer lies in how Japanese people grow up. In Japan, babies sleep in the same room as their parents, and often in the same bed. There's even a traditional sleeping arrangement called kawa no ji, named after the river Kanji, where the child sleeps between the mother and father. The idea is that the child absorbs both parents' presence equally, learning to read their moods and emotions through proximity alone. Japanese homes are also famously small. Traditional houses use sliding paper doors called fusuma instead of walls. There's almost no soundproofing. Even from the next room, you can always sense your family's presence. You learn to feel others without asking. This proximity creates what researchers call sasshi, the ability to guess what others are thinking, even in silence. In Japanese culture, being good at sasshi is highly valued. The person who can read the room, who can sense what you need before you ask, who can feel your sadness without you saying a word. That person is considered emotionally mature, loving, trustworthy. In Western culture, love is something you declare. In Japan, love is something you perceive. And that difference changes everything. A Belgian-Japanese couples study from 2020 found something striking. When Belgian and Japanese partners had disagreements, Japanese couples suppressed their emotions far more than Belgian couples. But, and this is the key finding, this suppression didn't harm their relationships. In Japanese couples, emotional restraint was associated with maintaining harmony, not with coldness or distance. The researchers concluded that in interdependent cultures like Japan, suppressing your own feelings protects the relationship. It's not avoidance, it's care. There's a Japanese proverb, "Shitashiki naka ni morieji ari." Even in close relationships, courtesy matters. The closer you are to someone, the easier it is to take them for granted. And when that happens, not only do words of love disappear, but even simple expressions of gratitude can fade. This is the shadow side of Japanese silence. When empathy is assumed, effort can become invisible. When words are unnecessary, gratitude can be forgotten. But the best Japanese couples find a balance. They pair silence with small rituals. A bow when leaving for work. A text that says, "Kyosuket," take care. A meal prepared with care. These tiny acts accumulate into something powerful. Not a single grand declaration, but a daily architecture of love built through action. A Japanese woman once said about her parents, "Anyone watching them could see they adore each other. But I have never once seen them exchange words of love or show physical affection, not once." Instead, she said, they offer each other countless small acts of kindness and quiet thank yous. Perhaps this is the Japanese way of saying "I love you." In Japan, love doesn't need to be loud to be real. It lives in the spaces between words, in the warmth of a bath drawn without being asked, in the silence of two people sitting together, needing nothing else. So the next time you wonder whether someone loves you, don't listen for the words. Watch for the quiet. If this story moved you, subscribe to Trace of Us. Every week, we explore how different cultures love, live, and see the world. One story at a time. Drop a comment and tell me, how does your culture say, "I love you" without words? I'll see you in the next one.